Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back here for United Daily Live, and of course, it's Monday, so it's the late night slot of 10:30 p.m. Hope you guys are all doing well there at home, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in, and whether you're watching live, like plenty of you are, I can see you already in the comments, or you're watching later on, thank you for tuning in to AdamMcKola TV. And make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, you're liking, you're commenting, you're sharing, and you're getting involved in all the debate that we are having here on the channel at the moment as we edge closer to the restart of the campaign and Project Restart kicking into gear. Obviously, starts in a matter of 2 days' time. We will be at this time reacting to a couple of Premier League games, and then of course there's more action on Friday with Manchester United are in action against Spurs, and we're looking towards that game today as we look over the headlines, as there's headlines regarding Paul Pogba. Now Paul Pogba's back, he's fit, he's been playing for Manchester United in those friendly fixtures against West Brom and the inter-squad friendlies and things like that. And there's talk that he's going to be on the bench against Spurs. He's not going to be rushed back into the starting lineup. So we'll be looking at those reports and looking at those stories. We're also looking at the team news from Spurs, which is that Dele Alli is obviously suspended. And Tanganga, who's been playing for them, young centre-half, is of course out of the game as well. So those two players are missing for them. What does that mean for Spurs? Mason, Greenwood, Angel Gomez and James Garner have all been nominated for the Golden Boy 2020 as well. Erling Haaland is of course leading the race for that, but we'll talk about Mason Greenwood's in particular's chances for the Golden Boy this year. Previous winners from Manchester United, you've seen Wayne Rooney, Anderson, Anthony Martial, amongst others at Manchester United. So there's been a fair few with varying success without their career. I just want to say thank you to Dan Gray, Bud the Red and Latido Crab, who are the last couple of members to join AdamMcKola TV. So thank you very much to those guys for joining. We are just over 10 away from hitting that target of 100. So get hitting that join button if you can and joining AdamMcKola TV. I can see some of you guys in the comments already. So before we go on to the news, a few shout outs for T, Sam Dimon, 94J Reedy, Ross Murphy, Sean Ralph, Anup, Ilya is in the house, P Savage, we've got Michael, Gurpreet, Veda, the United Way, Habiba, Unyemi is back in the house as well, Stoic Savage, Jay Preston, Renato, I Swallow, well hello there, Chad Ferrand's back in the house as well, Alan is here as well, Moldy Balls is here, as is Joe's Bumfluff, an account dedicated to the glorious Bumfluff of Joe Smith. I'm sure he's made that account himself. Proper odd bod is that Joe Smith, and I'm pretty sure he's made that account of himself. You can tell him I said that. But yes, as I said, thank you to you guys for joining us. Damian Brown as well, Jordan Taylor, Ross Murphy, all you guys. And if I've missed your name, I do apologise. I can't get through all of them. There are so many. But we're looking at the news today, and we're looking at this story in relation to Paul Pogba and whether he's going to start for Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur. Now, it's in the Daily Mail, and a few others have ran with it as well. And it says Paul Pogba is set to be benched for Manchester United's Premier League return against Tottenham as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer puts the partnership with Bruno Fernandes on hold. The story goes on to say, Man United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is reportedly set to start Paul Pogba on the bench against Tottenham on Friday, meaning his potential partnership with Bruno Fernandes in midfield will have to wait. Paul Pogba has not played since Boxing Day and has featured just twice since September due to a number of ankle issues, but the French World Cup winner is now fully fit after the coronavirus lockdown put football on hold for 3 months. And after Fernandes hit the ground running following his £68 million 68 million, that's a load of fucking shit right there, but nevertheless, let's move on and ignore that. Move from Sporting Lisbon in January. Many United fans are excited to see their two-star midfielders pair up, but that won't be the partnership from the beginning on Friday, according to The Athletic. Pogba is understood to have trained well since lockdown began, but nonetheless, United are said to be working on a starting 11 without the 27-year-old. Instead, Solskjaer could turn to a regular this season in Fred, as well as Scott McTominay or Nemanja Matic in the centre of the park, to feature alongside playmaker Bruno Fernandes. When questioned about whether Pogba and Fernandes are capable of teaming up. Former United midfielder Darren Fletcher said, without a doubt, of course, great players can come together. Somebody might have to sacrifice a little bit of something, but that's part of being in a team. It's not an individual sport. When you play with a certain midfield, whether it's a midfield three, you adapt your game to complement each other. It's all about being compatible and recognising the strengths of your fellow teammates and how to get your best performance. But ultimately, you might be sacrificing what you do best to allow someone else to excel, which helps the team win. Fernandes has already endeared himself to the Old Trafford faithful after joining from Portugal in the winter transfer window. Yada yada yada. It goes on and on and on. Tottenham, interestingly, obviously have Harry Kane and Son Heung-min fit for them as well. So obviously, although they've got Ali and Tanganga, they have got those players back in the frame for a potential start against Manchester United. But the story is Paul Pogba set to be benched. Now that's come from a piece in The Athletic. I'd assume that's come from either Laurie Whitwell, Andy Mitten, or a combination of those, or someone like that. But nevertheless, we look at that and take it for what it is. Now, that wouldn't surprise me at all. If Paul Pogba was on the bench, it's not a shock to see that. He's just come back from injury. He's played 5 games this season. Yes, you could argue, everyone's coming back and they're on an even keel. But in the interest of positivity, team spirit, promoting that kind of healthy competition for spots, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer returns Paul Pogba to the team and he puts him on the bench, and Paul Pogba comes back in, plays well, keeps his spot, as you'd expect him to do, then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't be accused of favouring certain personnel or just giving players their spot. He could say, well, you were in the frame first, Pogba came in, done well, so he kept his spot. So in terms of the team spirit, the morale, the building of that, you can understand that. Also, you might not want to change things too soon. We go away to Tottenham Hotspur. It's a difficult game. You don't want to change a midfield that before the lockdown was working. In a difficult game like that, why not rush Paul Pogba back? Play a midfield from the start that is, a little bit more set up away from home. Being able to introduce Paul Pogba from the bench, hoping that he settles, gets a good 40 minutes under his belt, 30 minutes under his belt, and then you go into those games later on with Paul Pogba having a little bit under his belt, feeling ready to go into the team. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I wouldn't be totally upset if I seen Paul Pogba on the bench. Obviously, like you and everybody else, I'm excited to see them playing together. I'm excited to see them in the same team. I really am. But at the same time, I don't want to rush it. Paul Pogba's hopefully staying at Manchester United now for the foreseeable future. And with that being said, there's no need to rush things at all. There's just no need. So I understand it if it's true, but it also may not be true. It may be something that Manchester United have briefed with the intention of luring Spurs into a false sense of security and then preparing for something else, even though United are about to play that. So there's a number of reasons that this could be, but in the interest of morale, promoting competition for your spots, just easing Paul Pogba back into the frame, away from home against Spurs. It's not total madness to not start Paul Pogba, I'd have to say. Thank you to Habibur Rahman. Now, he's a regular on AdamMcKola TV and he's just became a member. So thank you very much to you for becoming a member on AdamMcKola TV. I really do appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much. Now, let us know what you guys are thinking about Paul Pogba. Should he start against Tottenham Hotspur on Friday? Ross says Pogba needs to earn the place now. We have been playing better without him. So if he wants to play, he has to up his game. We have 5 sus, says Unyemi. Hamza says, how do the papers know? It could just be, one of them may be close to Solskjaer, maybe getting little hints. There may be, I don't know, journalists may have had access. I'm not 100% sure if journalists had access to the game against West Bromwich Albion. There was obviously photographers there. But if they did, then you would suggest that they maybe saw things in the team lineup. They may have someone inside that's telling them, wow, this is what they're doing in training. There's a number of ways that journalists can know these things, especially reliable journalists. But then also, it's something that you could easily make up or it could be your opinion that United will ease him back into things, and it could come true quite easily. And if it doesn't, you're not really going to be questions about it, are you? So there you go. Jesse says mind games. Perhaps Ollie is playing tricks, leaking that he'll be on the bench. Happy Bird says Jose is getting another pat on the head. We can use 5 subs, reminds Onyemi reminds us all, and it is obviously something that will come into play, and it'll be a great opportunity as well. We're talking about the Golden Boy nominees, and we'll talk about the players coming through Manchester United's academy, and a number of them could possibly be in the frame for getting starts or more regular starts because of this 5-start rule. So that's fantastic. Who's starting, says Angus. My preferred lineup would be, I would go with David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. I'd go with Maguire and Lindelof, just to come back into things, and then bring Bailly back later on or as a sub. In the midfield, I'd go Matic, Pogba, Bruno. So I would play Pogba from the start, but I can understand if it's something like Matic, Fred, or McTominay, Fred and Bruno. Totally understand that. I would go Matic, Bruno, Pogba, or McTominay, Bruno, Pogba. And then in the front three, I'd go Rashford, Marshall, and I'd go Danny James, or Jesse Lingard. Depends on the form that they're in this pre-mid season almost. So that's the kind of team that I would go with. Erwa, I hope I've said your name right, is saying Matic, Fred, Bruno. Well, hello there, says Maguire and Bailly for me. Ice says Jose is holding more L's than a lollipop. Happy Bird says, how do I get on the Discord, lads? Happy Bird, what I'll do once I've finished here is I'll post a link to the Discord in the community section of the YouTube page. So I'll do a members only post. You'll get the link there, and you can join the Discord. And that goes for any members of AdamMcKola TV. So if you join the channel or you join the channel, that link will be there. If it expires, because they expire within 24 hours, then send me a message or comment on the thing, and I'll send you a fresh link. So that's how you get onto the Discord. But I'll sort that out for you as soon as we are finished here, Habiba. And thank you again for joining AdamMcKola TV. Really do appreciate the support. As I said, we are upping things here on the channel, and we are bringing you more content. We're going to send the levels sky high. So make sure you keep it locked and you're getting involved, just as Habiba has done today. Marshall and Rashford to have a 30 season. This season, Jay, maybe not this season. There's not enough games. If Marshall continues to hit the form he's hit in the league and the FA Cup, he'll probably get 5-6 goals. And in the Europa League, he'll probably get 2 or 3. So if you look at that, you're looking at about 23, 24 this season. Marcus Rashford, he could possibly get between 25 and 26, 27. I don't think any of them will hit 30. But the target that you'll remember the videos we did almost this time last year, because of the fact of how this season's ending. I did a video this time last year almost saying that they needed to get 50 goals. They needed to get 50 goals between them. And at the moment, they're on course for that. So I'm happy with the direction that they're going in. And when you add Mason Greenwood's account to that, and where could he potentially go with his goal tally? He's got 12 already. Could he reach 15, 16, 17? It'd be looking really good for him, wouldn't it? So, yeah, we've got a decent selection there of players and stuff like that. So, yeah, really liking it. A bit late to the party, Adam. Mate, what's the scoop so far, says Martin. Well, the scoop so far, it's something from The Athletic. And they're saying that Paul Pogba may not start against Spurs. They feel Ollie will bed him into the team slowly and kind of promote that, these sort of the team that are doing well before coronavirus. Now they're going to start and you're going to have to earn your spot. And that is exactly the attitude we need in our players. And I think that's the kind of thing that Paul Pogba will react to as well. He's not the kind of player to slouch and start thinking, fuck this, I don't want to fight for my spot. He's the kind of player to see it as a challenge and fight for his spot and he's definitely good enough. Chad said he wants to see Fred, Bruno, Matic in the middle. Flat three, says Paul B. Pogba, Fred, Matic with a Cam, Bruno and 2. Ooh. I like what you've done there, mate. I like what you've done there. I could possibly see a diamond. That's kind of like a diamond, isn't it? Although you've said a flat three. You could possibly see a diamond or something like that coming into play. We've got 316 people watching at the moment. Adam316 says, like this fucking video. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Make sure you keep it in. Like, comment, share, subscribe, join, get your super chats in, get all that good stuff in. Mason can score 20 goals. He is on 12, says Russ. Obviously, depends on how many opportunities he gets. When you look at his goal scoring record in the Europa League, if he was to get a couple of more in there and potentially get 3 or 4 here in the league, you never know what can happen with that and how close he can get. You hit a couple of braces and you know you're moving very close. And how many games have we got? So we've got 9 league games. Almost forgot how to count. 9 league games. Then you got a quarter final of the FA Cup. That's 10. Potentially semi-final, final. Let's be optimistic. So that's 12 games. Then you've got Europa League. So are we going to have to play that round of 16 game against LAS, which we're in 5-0? Okay, so 1 game. And then the games are going to be one leg each, we're hearing. So there's not going to be as many games as we expected. It's not going to be home and away. So if you get to the quarters, again, it's going to be 3 games, potentially. So you're looking, United maximum we're going to have is 15, 16 matches. If I've counted that properly. It's not a whole lot, is it? If we get to the end of both competitions, which again, it's going to be a difficult scrap to do that. So a lot to look forward to, but a lot to fight for as well, and we've got to perform to be able to get it. Sam says, are you excited for the season? I am excited for the remainder of the season. Every United fan likes to mention, oh, Liverpool are winning the league. I try and not think about that, as bad as it is. We have to focus on Manchester United. We're Manchester United fans. And whilst that's disappointing to see, I've never seen that in my lifetime. I can't remember when Liverpool winning the league. I haven't seen pictures of that, you know what I mean? And it's just like, you never want to see that, but United need to use that as fuel. We need to use the fact that City and Liverpool are the best teams in the country, which they are at the moment, as fuel, and help us get better. And I feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's using that correctly. He's not getting caught up in, oh, what are them guys doing over there? Oh, them lot have got more money than us. These lot have got, they're making more signings. Oh, this manager's a prick, and that is not getting involved in it. He knows if Manchester United focus on themselves and Manchester United build for success, Manchester United will be successful. It's simple as that. There's no need looking over there. Focus on yourself. It reminds me of life, really. Everyone's always concerned about what other people are doing. I don't watch nobody else. Do you? Be yourself. And just whatever will be, will be. And United need to just be us. Be us again. Get back to those basics. Get back to bringing through our best academy players. Get back to, signing the right kind of players and, players for our future, and not just the ready-made products that we think will work and splashing massive. Yes, we give big wages, but for the right players. And we're building for success. Now, Oli may fail. I'm still not 100% that he's the man to bring us a Premier League trophy and to bring us a Champions League trophy. And that is ultimately what success is at Manchester United. Otherwise, Jose Mourinho would still be here. So, whilst I'm not 100% sure about that, he deserves the time to be given to prove me wrong, because he's doing things correctly and he's building United correctly. And that's why I'm excited for the remainder of the season. I go back to your question. I'm excited for the remainder of the season, because I'm excited about what are Rashford and Marshall and Greenwood going to do. Danny James has come through. He's looked like a decent squad player. Can he, he looked burnt out towards the end of. Can he show us that form that he had at the start of the season? Again, can McTominay continue his improvement? Paul Pogba prove the doubters wrong and prove the critics wrong, and Bruno continue on. Like, there's so much to be confident about. Yes, there's worries as well, and we have to get certain things right. And the influence of the owners and Ed Woodward's not great. But I feel like we've got a manager that, fuck that. I'm not going to fuck them. I'm going to try to do what's best for us. And you feel like every decision he makes is for the best for us. You feel like we go into every game, and yes, shit, Spurs. We could lose Spurs. We could lose against Spurs. We could lose against Spurs. Ali, sorry, could get it horribly wrong, and we could lose 2-3-0. But I'm going into that game thinking we're going to win. I'm going into that game thinking we're going to go out there to win. And even if we lose, the next game I'll be thinking the same. And that's the kind of mentality is instilled in the fans, in the players, and everybody. I'm excited. And I think there's nothing wrong with being excited. Don't let people say, United are shit. Yes, we're shit in comparison to what has come, what has been and gone. But we will, focus on you. We're going to get there. We're going to be better. It's as simple as that. Any silverware this season in the top 3 is a great season. Only Ali, 18 months into the club's biggest rebuild ever. How come Oli and Lampard aren't compared to the same standard? One is, the last comment, by the way, was Simon Crazyvape. This comment is from Bailey. How come Oli and Lampard aren't compared to the same standard? One is praised and one is constantly under pressure, because Chelsea and United have different standards. I hear what you're saying and I totally get you. And when they talk about the way he plays youth, you think about Tammy Abraham's been played in the Premier League, played a number of years. Yes, I agree with Reece James at fullback. I think he's a very good the centre half that they've got coming through. But it's a bit overrated. When you look at the team, a lot of their players are experienced. The midfield selection that they have, if we had that midfield selection, bloody hell. So I think it's a little bit overrated in terms, but at the same time, he's sitting in the top 4. No one expected Chelsea to get top 4 at the start of the season. I certainly didn't. So if they hold on to that spot, you can't really say anything. You know what I mean? I am gassed, says Happy Bird. Fully gassed. When you watch Tottenham play against RB Leipzig, they used to be United, no philosophy, no identity. I see what you're saying. Chelsea have only blooded in youth because of their bang on, and that will change very soon. Happy Bird. Remember coming into the City game, everyone expected to lose that game and beat Tottenham. True stories, Doug. United are bigger than Chelsea. It's as simple as that. And that is another true story. Guys, can you get hitting that like button? We have got plenty of you watching tonight, but can you get hitting that like button, please? We've only got 92. Come on, that's a poor showing. Over 350 watching. I'm sure we can get that to 200 likes right now. How you doing, Aaron J? Thank you for joining us. Just as we look at the reports of Paul Pogba, will be starting the game on the bench against Tottenham Hotspur on Friday, according to The Athletic. And we've discussed the pros and the cons for that already in this video. So if you want to check that out, feel free to rewind the video after we are finished here in about 10 minutes time. But what I want to go on to right about now, my Funk Soul brothers, is the fact that Mason Greenwood, Angel Gomez and James Garner have been nominated for the Golden Boy 2020. Now the likes of Erling Haaland have also been nominated, and let's be honest, he's probably the one that's going to be winning it. But out of Manchester United's players that they have there in the nominations, our standout is Mason Greenwood. I think James Garner, Angel Gomez are clearly talented players, but Mason Greenwood is without doubt a generational talent. I don't use that word lightly, but he deserves it to be used alongside his name, because that's exactly what he is. His clinical scoring ability, his ability to score with both feet, set pieces, inside the box, outside the box, his almost nonchalance and, just that arrogance almost, that I can do what I want on this football pitch and no one's going to stop me. And he's a young kid. He scores goals for United and it looks like he's been doing it all his life. I don't know how you do that. I scored a goal at Old Trafford, not for Manchester United, in some meaningless game, and I thought I was going to cry. This kid is phenomenal, and he's taken to first team football like a duck to water. Now, he will still have times when he maybe has a dip in form, a dip in, goal return. But I don't think we should worry about that, because the pure ability is there. The mentality seemingly is there. He's keeping his feet firmly on the ground. And when you've got people like Marcus Rashford to look up to as well, and not only on the pitch but off the pitch as a human being, I think you've got the right type of leaders and the right type of guidance around you, the right type of influences. And that's not always going to be, the deciding factor, but it can be a huge factor. Marcus Rashford broke onto the scene. He didn't have the hype that Mason Greenwood had, in my opinion. And, he probably hasn't got the natural scoring ability, but he has got the raw ability, the skill, the trickery, the ability to beat a defender, then the pace. And of course, he does score goals as well. He works incredibly hard on his craft. You can tell about that by the free kicks that he takes, by the way his goal scoring has improved. Because at the start, he wasn't a natural goal scorer, is what I'm saying, even though it looked like it when he burst onto the scene. And he's just showing that it's incredible hard work. So if you combine the raw ability of Mason Greenwood and that hard work, which I'm sure he will pick up, and he probably has already, United have got a talent on their hands, and he's someone that I'm really excited about. And if we were going to go for a player like this on today's market, just how much would they be worth? How much would Mason Greenwood be worth on today's market? It's an incredible amount of money because he's a goal scorer, he's young, he's only going to get better. I feel just as confident with Mason's future as I did the first time I seen Scholesy, says Simon. When Rooney was young, he had a swagger about him. Mason's the same, says Habiba. Mason's goal against Watford, wow, what a goal, says Ross. The raw ability to expose his fullback, says Stu. It is mad. Mason kind of reminds me of Rooney, man. I don't see the style, but I see what you mean in kind of the mentality. And Rooney just belonged, and it looks like Mason belongs as well. Robin van Greenwood will be class, says Ilya. Mason for United all the way, says Gurpreet. Generational talent, says Ross. Darcy says Garner and Williams got busted at an illegal rave last night. Simon Stone is reporting. No. No. Oh, God. I hope that's not true. I've not seen Simon Stone's tweets about that, and I had notifications on via the full-time Devils account for Simon Stone. So let me see if he has tweeted anything like that. 1 second. I'm not saying you're a liar, but I don't want to say something like that is true when it's not. Simon Stone has not tweeted that. So, no. And that isn't true at all. As far as I'm aware, Simon Stone hasn't tweeted that. So it may be a fake account, but he hasn't tweeted that. So don't believe the hype in regards to that comment in the comments. Mason will be a United legend once this is all over. Could have a shot at that Rooney record, says Jess. His goal against Newcastle on Boxing Day was quality, says Sean. Habiba says Everton goal was a striker's goal, just rolled it in the bottom corner. These links with Ndidi today are probably just rumours, but imagine him sitting behind Bruno and Pogba, says Jess. That'd be class, wouldn't it? It would be class. Simon says, can't explain, but Mason has it. And he definitely does have it because he is a fantastic player. Bailey, it won't be long until Graham Souness starts. But whenever he does chirp up, we will be here to knock him back down. I did not and have not been to any raves of any sort at all during this lockdown period. In fact, in a very long time, because I am an old, washed up guy right now. Some may say, like Jose Mourinho, that's usually like that said that in the comments. Not me. I did watch Aditya Reds' new video, and when we're finished here, if you've seen anything on AdamMcKola TV, everything, then go over and check Aditya Reds' new video. It's fantastic. A stone cold a Manchester United video. It was everything that a 10-year-old Adam ever dreamed of. Who's your favourite player if you have one, says Jordan. It's a toss-up of Rashford and Martial, and also Paul Pogba, but Rashford or Martial, massive fans of theirs, and I'm really excited for their futures at Manchester United. Long may they continue to be successful and continue to rise as players. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're liking this video, commenting, sharing, joining, subscribing, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate every single one of you locking in. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. UK time, so make sure you're joining us then for another United Daily Live. But that has been it for today. What do you think about Paul Pogba starting or not against Spurs? Do you think he should be on the bench and have to fight for his spot? Ali and Tanganga will miss the game for Spurs. What does that mean for Manchester United? Mason Greenwood, Angel Gomez and James Garner have been nominated for the Golden Boy 2020. Can any one of them bring them home? And of course, Marcus Rashford has been at it, challenging the UK government to make sure every single kid is fed during this summer and when school is off. And I've got to say, I have nothing but love for Marcus Rashford. And I wanted to dedicate the end of this video to Sir Marcus Rashford, my Prime Minister, to Marcus Rashford, who is an absolute credit to Manchester United, his family, himself, his mother, everyone. He's an amazing guy, amazing human being, fantastic footballer as well, and he deserves all the blessings that come his way on the pitch and off the pitch. And anything that he does, even in my small way, I'm going to try and promote everything that he does because he deserves it, man. I've got a lot of love for that lad and what he's doing at the moment. So shout out Marcus Rashford. Shout out you lot for tuning in. Make sure you're keeping it locked. We're back at 12 o'clock tomorrow. But for now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.